Welcome to day 12. This is Anna and Cherry again. Very sick of the sight of us. Hopefully you're able to listen rather than always having to watch. Folks, we're on day 12. We're going to focus today upon legs again. We're going to start to work a little bit harder, still working through core bottom, and we're going to introduce arms. Folks, I'm going to do a slightly easier version, which if you are on day 12, then it's a great one for you to do. If you're a little bit further on postnatally, you're a little bit fitter like Anna is, I'm going to get her to work a little harder. So just a few minutes warm-up phase. We're going to come into feet and knees hip distance. Folks, if you're still in your pyjamas and you've got no shoes on, you're fine, join us. If you've managed to get your kit on, then fantastic. Drop your shoulders. Folks, I'd like to just bring your shoulders up and just circle back and round. Now, as Anna's doing this, I want you guys to focus a little bit forward. She's doing it beautifully, and a lot behind. Keep going for me. You think everything you do with baby all the time, we're in this position here, not great for posture, so we're strengthening that upper back. Think forwards only a little bit, backwards a lot, and rest. Let's just start to take it side to side. Soften your knees. Girls, would you lift up on pelvic floor? Desperately think as if you're trying to stop yourself from having a wee. Think about drawing tummy muscles in slightly and just come side to side. So folks, we're coming side to side and just bend those knees a little bit. Team, feel as if you're keeping shoulders back slightly. You're in between two panes of glass, so you're not allowing yourself to come forwards or backwards. Troops, Anna's got a great back. This is a fine movement for her to do. If you're feeling any discomfort in your lumbar spine, could you make your movement a little bit smaller for me? But folks, if you are feeling any discomfort in your lower back, draw your tummy muscles in a little bit more and just tuck your bottom under a tiny little bit if you are feeling it in your lower back. And then if it still doesn't feel good, just keep your movement smaller. Come back to centre and recover. Folks, you're just going to take it into a little march for me. If you've got trainers on, you can afford to take the knees a little higher. If you've got bare feet with me, team, we're landing lightly. We're not coming as high. Bring your arms into it. Now I want you to just draw tummy muscles in that little bit, and all we're doing is just getting the legs a little bit warmer. As you're marching, team, trying to keep your pelvis as stable as you can do. If you're in a flat, the people underneath you now are going to be wondering what you're doing. And let it go and recover. Folks, I'm going to use no weights. We're just going to use body weight. I am going to move Anna on. Always bend your knees as you pick the weights up. Team, Anna's not very lucky, she's got the weights. You can use water bottles, etc. instead. Or, if you're fairly new to joining us, feel really free to do it without anything. Folks, we're going to take our feet and knees a little wider than our hip distance in line with shoulders. We've done this previously. Would you just have a little warm up upper body? Bring your weights up, and then as you take them down, Anna, push behind. Folks, if you can see Anna doing it forwards, see me doing it sideways, so we've got a bicep movement and then we've got a tricep movement, yes? And the weights that you're using, I promise you, will not make you have huge muscles. It's just going to really tone up the muscles that you've got. And obviously doing all that lifting of baby, you've probably got good muscles anyway. So feel as you're doing the movement, you just draw your tummy in that little bit, breathe normally, relax your shoulders and rest. Folks, I want you to think about pelvic floor. Today, excuse me, sorry, you're thinking sitting bones right at the bottom of your pelvis. Imagine that you're drawing those sitting bones closer together. So we're recruiting pelvic floor, draw belly button towards spine. Now we're going to do a squat. Folks, add a little squat that you're familiar with and push up. Keep going for me. So pelvic floor, the conscious phase of your pelvic floor will have worn off, yes? But I want you to feel that you're keeping tummy muscles very slightly engaged all the way through this. Folks, we're doing this beautifully. Anna's got such a good technique on a squat. As you come up, you're straightening, watch you're not shoving your hips forwards, and I want you to be mindful that you're just straightening the legs without locking them out. Okay, let's add your arms. So we're going to squat and do a bicep, Anna, please. So you squat, biceps, push back, triceps, open the chest. Squat and come up. Now, as you're coming up, I want you to try and lift your pelvic floor, please. Little breath in. And as you come up, think of lifting pelvic floor. Now, it's quite hard to do that as you're moving. Girls, if you are sort of only sort of 7-ish weeks postnatal, be mindful sometimes pelvic floor is still not as great as you might like it to be, so don't worry if you can't get this just yet. Those of you a little bit further on, you might find that you're getting better at pelvic floor. Little breath in, breath out and release, let it go. Okay, folks, I'm giving you a breather and we're going to move on from here. Would you now take your left leg forwards for me? Now I'm going to give this a little bit harder for Anna and a little bit easier for me. So if you are only in your 12th day, please stay with me. If you're further on, you've got issues with your pelvis, you must stay with me, yes? Arms down. I'm going to let Anna face there. I'm going to come sideways. Shoulders back. Are we ready? Lift pelvic floor first. Tum in. Now send your bottom back. Little curtsy. Stay in here and push back up. Watch us again. So our head's in line. Weights either side of the knee. And we're just letting our bottom sit back. Little breath in and little breath out. Yes? Go again. Okay, if you're feeling any discomfort in your knee or your pelvis, did you see what I did? A little mini squat, whereas Anna's going a lot lower down. So if you're in your first bit, you're doing it with me team, and if you're used to it, maybe you exercise quite a bit through your pregnancy, you might be a little bit fitter. If this is okay, you're going to do 2 more. So you're still trying to get those knees going forwards for me, tummy muscles in, and then you just bring yourself into a standing position. And Anna's got a great range of movement on that. Let it go. Can we just give your legs a bit of a breather and just give them a rest? Folks, we're going to work through upper body now. So we're going to take your hands into this position. Again, I'm doing it without. Keep your elbows in. Look forwards for me. Folks, draw in tummy muscles slightly. Take your arms out. I'm rubbish at this one. We're doing cuff rotation, keeping the chest lifted and let it go. Okay, so what I'm looking for is as soon as, stop there, lovely, and then come back in, keeping those elbows way in. As soon as you feel your shoulder blades start to move closer together, then you go no further with your weights. So this is working cuff rotators through the upper body. Keep looking forwards for me and go again. Squeeze, smash it. Couple more. And I've got to say that Anna's better than that. If I don't move my shoulder blades at all, that's the range of movement that I've got, yeah? A bit tight in those cuff rotators. Too much using my iPad, I think. Oh, I've said that. Can I say that, Joe? This is your last one. And come back and let it go. Okay, legs have had a bit of a rest. So, folks, you're going to start off feet, hip distance again. Step your opposite foot forwards. Take all your weight into that front leg. Up on that back heel, knees forwards. Here we go. Little curtsy and push back. Keep going for me. See the difference between what we're doing here? Anna's got a really good range of movement. If you've got any issues with your knees, you're not going as low as that. So folks, day 12, you're with me here. Little curtsy. But if you are a little further on postnatally, or as you said, if you're a little bit fitter during your pregnancy, maybe you might find that you can do a bigger movement with Anna, as long as it's feeling okay on your pelvis. Your pelvis is coming down in a stable line, and let's do another couple. So just a little breath in and a little breath out. So as you're dropping, you're not letting that left hip drop any lower than your right. Keep pushing both knees forwards in line with that second toe. Great for your legs team, but fabulous for your bum. And recover, let it go. Take it down to here and give yourself a breather. Would you take it into a shoulder press? Bring the weights up to your shoulders. Lift and take it down. Lift and take it down. Girls, if this is causing you any issues with your shoulders, neck or lower back, would you join me here? So we'll have done some biceps. We'll have done a little bit of tricep work. We've done some cuff rotation, postural work. We'll have done a little bit of shoulders and triceps just to get a bit of bone loading. We've done some work through your legs where we'll have worked inside, outside, bottom, and all importantly got that little bit of core. One more each side. And let it go. Bend your knees if you would do, pop them down for me. Girls, just a little bit of a march through just to get the circulation back again. If we've built up any lactic acid, we get it back into our bloodstream. Arms behind you, just have a little opening of the chest. Just to stretch out that chest, strengthen the upper back, folks, and take it down, come up, circle back, and release and shake out for me. Thank you, folks. Please try and do that again if you can later on. Remember, you don't have to use weights. Water bottles will do. Always make sure you've got a really safe, clear area, if a clear area is possible with babies in the house. And see you soon.